name is Romero Mendez, and today I will be covering Chapter 13 from our textbook Over Imagery. Throughout the presentation, I will discuss the effectiveness of imagery, factors influencing imagery, and when to use imagery in a sport performance competition. Here I have Michael Phelps, who is a 23-time Olympic gold medalist. I have chosen Michael Phelps here because he demonstrates how to properly and effectively use imagery. Before every competition, he focuses in on the task at hand and imagines himself in the water swimming the race he envisioned. Through the use of imagery, positive experiences can be recreated when preparing for an event. However, there are factors which can influence the effectiveness of imagery. These factors may be related to the nature of the task, the skill level, or the imaging ability. For example, here we have Galen Rupp, who is an Olympic silver medalist at 10,000 meters. Galen uses kinesthetic, auditory, tactile, and olfactory senses to experience everything he would in a race. In his case, imagery is usually performed in practice and competition for optimal performance. Not only does imagery work for recreating an event during practice or competition, but according to Kizildag and Tiryaki 2012, athletes also use imagery for skill learning, development, coping with injuries, and strategy development. As a coach and trainer, it is my duty to effectively teach my athletes these different skills of imagery in order for them to be successful. According to Kizildag and Tiryaki 2012, mental training should also be paired with other techniques such as self-talk, relaxation, and goal setting. Kizildag and Tiryaki 2012 also suggests incorporating these different techniques into your imagery program, which will help transcend into a flow state of mind. Imagery can be used for just about anything and is a great way to incorporate spirituality into what you are trying to achieve. In order to use imagery effectively, you must know the physical nature of the movement, the specifics of the environment, the type of task, the timing, the content, and emotion of the movement in which you are attempting to recreate. In research done by Cummings, J. and Williams SE 2013, they explain that imagery is primarily under the conscious control of the individual. This means that when you were teaching imagery, in most cases you were guiding the individual in their own design. Cummings, J. and Williams SE 2013 also say that during this learning process, it is important to understand that every athlete is different. The degree to which individuals are aware of their imagery and undertake consciously directed mental practice will vary. Imagery engagement can range from completely deliberate to spontaneous. Cummings, J. and Williams SE say that in any given situation, whether it be training or competition, athletes should use the imagery that best suits their desired outcomes. When selecting a strategy for imagery, a great verse to remember is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. God has instilled the deepest desires in us, and we must use this as a way to create images in our minds. To quickly summarize what I have covered in Chapter 13, imagery programs must be tailored to the needs and abilities and interests of each individual. These personalized programs will have a greater impact on the athlete and ultimately lead to a much more enjoyable experience. I plan to use this in my current profession and my future job by helping my athletes develop their psychological imagery. In relation to imagery, using individualized programs for each athlete will help them understand how to use it, where to use it, when to use it, why to use it, and what to use it on. Imagery also requires a creative mindset because you are having to reproduce and create a transcendent image of a competition or success. The important thing to remember here is that you must hone your overall imagination and continually increase the effectiveness of your artistic thoughts. As you have heard before, running is 90% mental and 10% physical. With that said, it is also my job as a coach to sharpen both the 90 and 10% so my athletes can prepare for any obstacle they may face during the course of a race. One of the key elements of my job is also to make sure that imagery is used and maintained in a positive focus. Imagery can be used to analyze errors or corrections. However, it is important to leave those mistakes behind and focus on the path that is set before you. The key concept to take from this presentation is to engage the mind of each individual athlete. This is the first step in tailoring an imagery program for them. Great imagery takes time and practice to truly master. In conclusion, imagery is all about mental preparation through the recollection of stored information and experiences. By shaping each piece of the puzzle, you can paint a meaningful work of art in your mind for the goal you were trying to achieve. So, remember that imagery is all about imagination and creativity. Every person's mind is unique to their own experience and personality. So to properly teach and master the use of imagery, it must be implemented into a daily routine and practiced thoroughly.